Hi everyone, welcome to the InstructLab Core meeting for January 30th, 2025. Before we get started, before jumping into the topics, we will go through a few regular reminders for the meeting. Our meetings are governed by the InstructLab Community Code of Conduct, and our meetings are recorded and will be posted to the InstructLab YouTube channel. So if you miss a meeting, you can always go back and check what has been talked about. And I think on Discord, we actually have a videos channel that, every time a video is uploaded, you get a notification, so you can subscribe to that as well. If you prefer not to be on camera, you can join with the cameras off or dial in via phone. And if you're in the Google Meet, you can please use the raise hand to ask questions or the chat function to do the same. And with that, let's get started. Who would like to introduce the nominations for the new maintainers?
I can do that. Yes, we have two new nominations. One is for Bill Murdoch, who's here today, and the other is for Anastas, who's not here, but they did a lot of work in 0.23 for implementing RAG in InstructLab. So, they've gotten a lot of familiarity with the code base, with the config schemes, with adding a new command group and subcommands. So, you can check out the nominations there. Please vote. And we'll probably give this a little extra time. The nominations were opened up by Mo a little prematurely, but so I'm raising them now so we can go back and get some votes on them and hopefully elevate these two to maintainers.
Can you tell people how to vote?
Yes, you can vote by thumbs upping in the issue. So you can see down there the votes here. If you have any concerns, please message Mo, as the one who opened the nominations, with any concerns folks have. And we'll probably give it, I'd say, probably 2 weeks.
Makes sense. And everyone can reach Mo through email, and you can get to her email by clicking on her profile, I assume?
Yeah, email through GitHub profile,
also
upstream Slack or Discord.
Oh, upstream Slack and Discord, also excellent choice. Yes, thank you.
Yeah. Yep.
Very good, thanks.
Well, thank you for your contributions.
Excellent. Okay, just want to say for the record, I plan to vote for Anastas. He's really, really good at this sort of thing and will be an excellent maintainer. He really is excellent at doing PR reviews, for example, really superstar.
Awesome.
All right. Any other comments or questions about the maintainers voting? If not, let's go on to Core, moving to 2-week release cadence. Is that you also, Nathan, or?
Yeah, or Charlie or someone
else. Sure. I didn't put that in the agenda, but
I mean, it's what it says. Like, we're moving to a 2-week release cadence. Yeah.
Yep, that's pretty much it. That's what we're doing.
That's nice. All right, that's good. Is there? I mean, this is already decided, right? So there's no.
Yeah, this is more of an announcement than anything.
Right. Cool. Got it.
And are those Fridays? Sorry, I couldn't focus fast enough this week.
I believe they are. Yeah.
Makes sense. So every other Friday is going to be a release.
There's nothing better than cutting a release on a Friday. That couldn't.
Well, they don't have to.
Never has.
They don't have to be Fridays.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
All right. That seems clear.
Yep. Release on a Friday, log out and forget about it. And see what happens on Monday. All right. Cool. All right. Any other topics for discussion? Yes, Justin.
This is impromptu, but I think a lot of you were on the call when I presented the demo or like the onboarding for Mac OS or InstructLab. But yeah, this is relevant because we're in CLI meeting. Make sure I'm in the right meeting. Sorry, the right context here. If it's okay, I wonder. I actually got to talk to quite a bit of developers, IT, and people offline. Probably about 8 or 9 people in total, and made some modifications to it. And if it's okay, I just like to show the modification. I don't think it'll take too long. It won't be like a 20-minute presentation, maybe like a 5-minute presentation, if that's okay.
Yeah, sure. Let me. You should be able to present now.
Okay, and I didn't even. It's a little impromptu. I was in the meeting. Let me. Can I just share a tab, a window? And I think I already have it. It's ./ right? Yeah. All right, it's really blurry on my end. I'm thinking it's blurry on y'all's end too. If I zoom in, does it help?
Oh, much better now.
Okay.
Yep, it's okay.
It's really big on my screen. Okay, hopefully I have this all right in here. Sweet. If I need to show the old one side by side, I can. But I don't think I need to. So the first thing that like probably anybody will notice, the intro text is significantly shorter. Just so we can everything fits kind of in the default view, and it kind of gets straight to the point. Oh man, haven't changed anything. Let's only when I'm dealing with y'all do things not like to go right the first time.
Yeah, this is the nature of demos.
Like I've used this thing 1,000 times, and of course it doesn't want to act right. Okay, sweet. Maybe I just didn't have my most recent update. So significantly shorted the intro text so it fits into the screen. There was some conversation about but after selecting yes that you wanted to start, not automatically starting those installations of those scripts, but instead giving the user letting the user know what's gonna be installed, as well as changing the things like Visual Code Studio and the GitHub CLI to optional because developers can be picky on what they want to use, and so we've made those optional. And if I didn't preface this is completely a demo script, so like there's nothing in here is going to actually install. So if anybody else goes look at it, nothing's going to actually install.
Makes sense. Is the idea that it would check to see if you already had these things? It would only list them if you didn't. Okay, great.
Yep. And so we'll see that in the next part here. And I've in some of these I've tried to show that like, hey, we're going to check. So it's showing you what code is actually being ran, showing us that hey, it wasn't actually found. So now we're going to install it, right? In Brew, like we needed Brew. Brew was already found, so nothing needed to be installed. And we've gotten down to Python, and because we allow for multiple versions of Python, I've added this selector to allow them to obviously to select which version they want to use, and with the ability obviously to put some type of recommendation, which I've just had as the most recent version.
I guess this is not sort of the flow I was expecting with the already installed. I was expecting to show it back in the first screen to say, no, look, Xcode's already installed, as opposed to, I know I have Xcode installed and now I'm telling it to reinstall, and I'm like, I don't want to do that. But then it turns out it already knows not to do that. And just the UI hasn't told me that.
So
does that make sense?
Yeah. So, and it's interesting you say that because it's been kind of split. So if we were to do it in this section, it would require, I don't know, from a security standpoint or anything, if the user hadn't said yes here, do we want to be checking their system already that these things are already installed? Right?
Yeah, it's a good question. I mean,
Right.
another way you could do it is just change that pink text at the top to say the following prerequisites will be installed unless they're already there or something
Yeah,
like that.
yeah, and I think that's fair. And that was going to be my next suggestion. I was like, maybe we just change the language here to let them know, hey, if it's already installed, it's going to be installed.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah, I think that's a fair and easy compromise.
Oh.
User gets down to those optional installations. Say you don't want to use VS Code. I don't know what people use, but we're just going to say no there and let you know that we're skipping it. I don't need the GitHub CLI either, even though I don't have it. And I should have added a thing for check here. At the end there, it gives us a summary of, and I've actually changed this language. I guess I didn't save it on my end. But it shows what was already installed, or what was installed and what was already installed, what didn't go through, and we continue through that setup. The only thing we changed on Hugging Face is not to expose the token. GitHub authentications is the same thing. Added, I realized I didn't even have the actual installation of InstructLab in the last demo, and so now I've added that. We're gonna tell it to use the default directory wherever we're at right now. So I saw a question in the chat. Yeah, as for that, so I'm backtrack for that red color. Right now, this is just for demo and just to make things stand out. I don't actually expect a final version to have this much color in it. We're actually talking in UX right now, like what would it be best if somebody says no to something, like what iconography is best, if we're gonna have any color, what color is gonna be best, and we really just haven't come to a decision yet. So if you have a suggestion, gladly take it. But that is this part is a topic of discussion. Well, green shows our success. Oh, maybe gray. I'm reading that completely wrong. Yeah, gray. Agree. User goes through their typical taxonomy setup. If they've connected their GitHub CLI, and I don't have this section on the dependency of the rest of this, so that's why we're still getting these some of these other selections about forking and repoing and creating repos. But for the most part, everything else here, it's the same. We set the model directory, done our configuration, go straight into the model download because we have that Hugging Face token. If they decided not to bring in their token early, it would ask them again. I would expect it to ask them again, right? Hey, we want the model download, add your Hugging Face token, blah, 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 and we're at the end. And so, like I said, this is the updated script. I have it everywhere I need. Yeah. Hey, Bill.
Yeah, so kind of nitpicky here, but if you scroll back up a bit, there's a thing there where it asks you for the location of your model, but it seems like it was really wanting to say the location of the model directory where it's going to store all the models, right? So it's not looking for a path to a model, it's looking to a path to your models directory.
Correct. And
so that might need a little bit of rewording, I think.
Yeah. And I think I copied and pasted this from what it is right now.
Yeah, so I think that default is the right default, but I think the wording should be enter the path to your models directory instead of enter the path to your model.
Yeah,
because you're not pointing to a single model. Yeah. Right. Thanks.
But yeah, so that's all I wanted to demo. If there's any questions, I'm happy to answer. I'll update the GitHub issue and everything else. So
yeah, it looks exciting. It looks like a really nice capability for helping people get started.
If you have the link to the GitHub issue, could you please drop it into the meeting notes so other people can take a look as well? Thank you.
One more question. You frame this as a installer for Mac, but would we do something similar for Linux as well? Or is that like a management decision?
That's probably a management decision. Probably
Yeah, that
all
makes
of them.
It's probably hard to do. Like Linuxes are very different.
Yeah, that's very different, but like I mean, you could have a similar experience. Like I agree that the back end would probably be a different implementation. I don't know. Maybe there's not a demand for it.
I think Mac environments are more homogeneous. Most, like it's
Yeah, that's
easier
fair.
to, yeah. So,
But you could build one for standard out of the box Fedora and say if you're not using that, then it may or may not work. I don't know. Again, we don't need to decide that on this call.
all right. Thanks, Justin, for the demo. And any follow-up thoughts or questions for Justin? Okay. If not, any other topics for today? Yeah, great work, Justin. Cool. All right. Yes, Charlie.
No,
You're
I was
muted.
just reacting.
Okay. Cool. All right. Okay. All right. So please take some time back and have a good rest of the week, and we'll see you next week. Take care, everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.